Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here, and it's time for a new video. And as you can see, it is time for my Let's Play slash walkthrough of Dead Space 3. Now, this introduction is going to be about 5 minutes long, and then the gameplay is going to begin. So if you don't want to hear me waffling, skip to 5 minutes into the video. But I just want to say a few things before we begin. First of all, I don't love this game like I love the first two games. I like this game, I guess, but I have humongous problems with it. I see it as the reason for the death of Visceral Games and the death of the series. Now, obviously, we've got the remake of the first game incoming. This game was compromised by EA, Electronic Arts, with their meddling in the game. Visceral Games wanted to make another survival horror game, more like the first two games. Obviously, there would have been new gameplay features, and they're always looking to expand the series in positive ways for the fan base. But EA wanted to push more action. They wanted to push, obviously, the microtransactions, which are a thing in this game, but you can complete the whole game without them. But it's got EA's stamp of disapproval, if you will, all over it. The story, the characters, even the graphics of this game, and the gameplay, and the emphasis on action, way too much, way too many enemies. I don't like the story of the Brethren Moons and all that. It's a little bit too fantasy sci-fi for me as opposed to horror. That's just my take on it. I'm not keen on the story. This game has its fans. If you go on the subreddit of Dead Space, there's tons of people that love the third game, and I don't get it. I complete the first two Dead Space 1 and 2, I should say, once every 6 months. And I always really enjoy it and feel refreshed by the break from the game. And although I know what's coming, I love the game world, I love the gameplay, I love the survival horror, I love the mechanics, characters, everything about it. Two of my favourite games of all time. The third game, this was my first time in about 2 or 3 years completing it, because I don't need to return to this game as often. It's just nowhere near as good. And I've got many issues with it. Now, this is a post-commentary playthrough, ladies and gentlemen, and it is only set to hard difficulty. I'll be honest with you guys, I was mulling over this one for quite a few weeks, wondering how best to bring this to the channel. Was it... Oh, there's Smiling Isaac, love that. Was I going to make a walkthrough? Was I going to make a let's play? There's a big difference between both. Was I going to do live commentary or post commentary? Reason you do post commentary is so you can concentrate on the gameplay whilst you play and then talk over it afterwards. That's what I did with Dead Space 2 Hardcore. I'm very proud of that project. This is much more, for lack of a better word, casual. You know, we're just playing on hard difficulty. This isn't pure survival, this isn't classic, this isn't hardcore, but that's the thing. I don't think that Dead Space 3 warranted all those different playthroughs because the game's gameplay is just subpar. On classic mode, you can only have 2 weapons. You can build your own on other difficulties, sure, but in the original games, you could have 4 different weapons that had an alt fire, meaning essentially you had 8 weapons. Dead Space 3, you have 2 weapons, primary and alt fire for them. And can you make a rocket launcher plasma cutter? No, you can't, because one's two-handed and the other's one-handed. The weapon building system in this game, the crafting, is crap. I hate it, and I'll be honest with you, part of the reason is because I don't fully understand it. How are you meant to know what a direction suspension field is? And I don't doubt that there are people out there who adore the third game and love its weapon crafting system and all that, but for me, I just feel with this game that it's very frustrating. You can never quite create the weapons that you want, and there isn't a weapon to kill every single enemy, which sounds like a good thing, but it isn't, because the feeders are insanely tanky. They were the pack in the second game, and they worked so well. They were so well balanced. In this game, there's shitloads of them, and they just tank shots. It makes literally no sense. Did they playtest this game? And that's another thing. The co-op and the single player is exactly the same. Resident Evil 5, you have a moronic AI partner in Sheva, but in this game, there is no Carver. You just play as Isaac. And the gameplay is not tweaked to be easier. I find this game a lot harder because it's unfair compared to Dead Space 1 and 2, but out there online, you'll see people say the opposite. They'll say that Dead Space 3 is a lot easier because you get a lot of ammo and health. But you need the ammo and health because you have to fucking shoot hundreds of bullets into enemies, and because you die to stupid shit like abseiling up walls and stuff like that. But look, one of the main reasons I wanted to do post-commentary in this game is that my complaints about it wouldn't be constant throughout the playthrough. And also, I got a lot of subscribers last year, since November 2019, about 80 subscribers. Oh, here we go, which is a lot for me, due to that Dead Space glitch video in November 2019. And I don't doubt that some of the people that watched, subscribed to me from that video don't even like this game, like I don't, that much. I'll give this game a 6 out of 10. But if I did a live commentary playthrough, I can assure you guys the complaints would be like even more so. By the way, that introduction where Ellie's talking, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description if people really want to watch it, but I wanted to just skip it because I've seen and heard it before. That's the thing with this game, you can't skip the cutscenes. The first two games, like this, the first game there's no cutscenes, it's all in one take, it's phenomenal, beautiful, never takes you away from controlling Isaac maybe once or twice in the game. Dead Space 2, the pacing is fantastic even though there are some cutscenes. This game, cutscenes are too many for me personally. But I like this introduction with Tim. Where's my bloody drink? I've lost it. Oh god.
Alpha Niner, this is Whiskey 250. Alpha Niner, this is Whiskey 250. Serrano, do you read me?
Tim! Oh, thank God! Did you find it?
Find it. Doc, I'm not even sure what we're looking for.
Just ahead. Follow the waypoint that sent you. I can't tell you anymore. Just get there. Do you hear me? You have to get there.
What?
Oh, it's lost.
What?
Shit. Subtitles aren't on. I don't know why that happens with Dead Space 2 and 3. Maybe even the first game, I can't remember. Every time I go back to the game, I realise that the subtitles are turned off. Freaking EA, the morons. I'm just going to blame EA for everything. Trust me, they're going to get a lot of shit in this playthrough. But yeah, one day, guys, when the remake happens, I'm going to be bringing it to the channel. Don't you worry.
You can do this.
I'll do a, well, semi-blind, obviously, because they are going to add a few new features to the remake. So I'll do my first playthrough on the channel. Not sure if it'll be with or without commentary, edited together. Don't know how I'll do it, but we'll figure that out when the time comes.
Oh no.
And then I'll do a walkthrough of the game's hardest difficulty, because are they going to bring pure survival to the remake? They could do. I hope they do.
Hey Doc, I found it.
Or hardcore. That'd be sick.
You get inside.
It's all sealed up.
Look around. There must be a way.
And we're going to be introduced to a new enemy, an enemy that I despise. In Seraphim 17's walkthrough of this game, highly recommend watching that guy, ladies and gentlemen. He calls these enemies the Scooby-Doo Fishermen. With the tennis ball in the mouths. And I think one of these guys hit me, because straight away we can see that really aiming for the limbs makes very little difference from these guys. We're just shooting them with a machine gun.
About half a meter long. Do you see it?
And it's pretty bland compared to the gameplay of Dead Space 1 and 2. And as we can also see, we are getting universal ammo, which I hate. So I know that guy's running, so I'm preempting him and running backwards. Run backwards again, because believe me, these guys are so fast, it's insane. There's so many flaws in the gameplay of this game, man. Like, if you kneecap them and they're on the floor, that's a tactical decision. You are making them hopefully slower. But then they're fucking faster when they're on the floor. Oh my days. Everything in this game is too fast.
I got it. Doc, I got it.
Shit.
Tim, where are you?
Hey Doc, I'm hanging from the cliff.
Well, this is a lot more fun than going upwards like we'll be doing in the second half of the game. That fucking abseiling, man, honestly. I'm not going to complain about that yet. I'll complain about it when we get there. I think it gets introduced about chapter 13. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Yeah, if you adore Dead Space 3, this might not be the Let's Play for you. There being a lot more dialogue makes it harder for me as well, because I don't want to talk over it, but I want to say so much, you know. These guys just hanging around.
Fine young soldiers, every one of them.
General Mahad, sir. Where's Dr. Serrano?
Earl Serrano, always the optimist.
Well, he said I should take this into the city. He said there's still time to stop it, sir. There's still time.
We lost control! And now, for the love of Earth and the sovereign colonies, we've got to do what's right. You love the Earth, son. Your mom and dad.
Yes, sir, of course.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Damn. These crazy motherfuckers. And this next cutscene here where Isaac and Ellie are having a domestic, this is where I knew the Dead Space that I loved had gone, because this is just farcical. Let's turn it into a romance, man. So bland. Oh, putting the subtitles on, here we go. I'm not changing the aiming to classic because it's not classic Dead Space, I don't give a fuck, I'm just keeping it on center. I will probably move the sensitivity up 1 to 3 if I haven't done so already. But yeah, this cutscene, man, it's just like, oh no. I loved Ellie in the second game. She's fucking awful in this game. She's terrible. And that Norton, well, don't worry, he's going to get what's coming to him later. As for Carver, I quite liked Carver. I've actually watched about half of a co-op playthrough of this game, because I've obviously never played it co-op. And seeing it through Carver's perspective was actually pretty cool. Beautiful graphics, to be fair, though.
34. Isaac, I know you're there. Come on, pick up the phone. Fine. Look, I just called to say I'm moving on. I have to. Just take care of yourself, okay?
It's a room with a view, ladies and gentlemen. Surprise, motherfucker.
You as Clark? Get the fuck off. Answer me! Tim? Who the hell are you? Lift him up. Up! I don't have a lot of time, so I want to make this brief. I understand you're something of an expert on markers. You created one.
I didn't make shit. Your government made me.
And you destroyed two, which is why we're here. Got a job for you.
No. No! I'm done with that. You find somebody else for your suicide mission.
We did. Before we lost contact with her. She told us to find you.
Ellie. Where is she? What'd you do to her? Where is she?
Unitologists have breached the inner concourse. We can't hold them.
Captain, run out of time. Gotta go.
She's out there all alone, Isaac, and I can't help her unless you help me.
The tragic waifu.
Okay. Okay!
Here. Let's get moving.
Fuck that machine gun. I ain't gonna be using that. What a crap. You know, there's so much great lore in these games, especially the first two, in my opinion. And when you just make the main part of the story a relationship, a love triangle, it's just not going to end well at all. Simple as that.
Now where's Ellie? How long has she been missing?
Just shut up and get over here. I'll explain later.
Some really nice areas here, though, in this city kind of environment. Obviously, it's not Earth, but...
Who the hell are you guys?
Earth Gov's last battalion.
Oh, shit.
Name's Norton. Captain Robert Norton. Sergeant John Carver.
Yeah, I like these city environments. It gives it a kind of cyberpunk feel. Lol.
Looks clear.
I mean, not the video game cyberpunk, I just mean like a cyberpunk kind of feel. So, we're meant to get involved in a firefight. Fuck that, I don't want to shoot human enemies in a Dead Space game, so I'm rolling. Then again, you don't want to be rolling or crouching in a Dead Space game. But you can in this game. You can crouch and you can roll. But here's the thing. When you roll, you will still take damage. You can't avoid the enemies by rolling. It's fucking hopeless and useless. In the crouching, there's one part where you can actually stealth past the feeders. But apart from that, it's so useless, man. What is the point of it? By the way, look at this. This is meant to be human AI. I mean, look at the way they move. What kind of human beings would move like this? It's so dumb. Anyway, I'm just stacing these fools and blasting them with a plasma cutter. Popping heads with a plasma cutter. Can't deny it's fun. The music as well, though, man. It's like, this is good music. But it just feels wrong. This isn't a survival horror soundtrack we're hearing here. This is an action game soundtrack. And it's cool, but it's not what this series should be.
These are unitologists. Why are they trying to kill us?
You! They're trying to kill you!
What?
Get out of there! Shut your trap!
Son of a... But yeah, I like a lot of the locales before we get to Tovalantis.
Why are these fanatics after me?
The first half of this game, in my opinion, is a lot better than the second half.
Plan.
Some end-time prophecy based on the markers.
Convergence?
Yeah, Ellie.
So now she's missing and follows you here?
Yes, now get to the roof of the Dredger Corp building. There's an extraction team waiting.
Another sin coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. Another absolute sin from the devs of this game and EA. Watch. So I'm going to pop these two motherfuckers. And look at this. Her body is made of stone. I can't stamp her. What is that about? I don't care that she's a fucking civilian. Dead Space 2, you could blow heads off anyone, do anything you wanted to. You're making them stone. You're watering the game down. Why can't I stamp on her body? What, because she's a civilian? Ridiculous. And you might say, why is that such a concern? Because you're watering it down, man. You're watering the game down.
Oops.
They were unmanned transports, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. No humans behind the wheel. The robots are taking our jobs. But yeah, beautiful world here. It's kind of like Blade Runner, isn't it? Got that kind of feel. It's pretty damn cool, man. I wish more of the game was in these kind of locations. I'd have been happy with that. It's beautiful art style and shit, I must admit.
Norton, this isn't just a manhunt.
But I do feel like Dead Space 2 looks a bit better than this.
But why topple the government? Why Earth Gov?
Danik blames them for experimenting with the markers, thinks it's heresy. So you can imagine what they think of you. Have you reached the extraction site yet?
Almost there.
So we're going to be introduced to Jacob Arthur Danik, or as I will be calling him in this playthrough, the evil Elton John, because he's a villain that looks like Elton John. And he's an absolutely diabolical bad guy. Now, listen to the dialogue when I get up the elevator here. Of course, don't forget that I'm playing single player. Take them out. Them out. They couldn't have redone that line, take him out. This one's still alive. This is EA, ladies and gentlemen. This is a AAA game. Oh, Christ. Tell you what, though. He's a smart-looking motherfucker.
Just the man I was looking for. Now don't waste your energy. You're going to be dead in a matter of minutes. Pick him up. There's something I'd like you to see. There.
Oh, God.
You see that? That's a marker test lab. They're everywhere at all the major colonies and outposts.
Of course he's English. He's
As
bloody
part of the marker
evil.
test program, Isaac, you helped make them. And today, you of all people get to watch me set them free.
No, no. You'll kill everyone.
Death is only the beginning, Isaac. Nature must take its course, and I can't allow you or anyone else to stop that. Eyes forward, Isaac. Pay attention.
I think I'm gonna drop the bomb. Damn, Dead Space 2 vibes. The masterpiece.
And now it's time for you to join the cycle of rebirth.
I do like that guy's voice though. I know he's been in quite a few games. He was in the first Uncharted game, I think. Or second Uncharted. But yeah, I mean the plot armor as well. Like, how does he allow us to survive? Why isn't he shooting the gun down on the ground? I just fell about 10 feet down. What? Like, what? Why are they keeping me alive? And if you play as Carver here, he's just inexplicably next to you. Plot armor, plot holes everywhere, man. Welcome to Dead Space 3. But it's more of the Scooby-Doo fishermen. Geniusly titled from Seraphim 17, because in the old Scooby-Doo shows, back in the like 1950s and 60s, the bad guys always used to be dressed like this. He's right. I hate these enemies. I hate them. They are fucking awful. And here, they're playing ball. You shoot for their arms, you fire the kinesis back at them. Later in the game, though, it doesn't make sense because I increase the power of my kinesis, and they're tanking like 3 or 4 kinesis shots, and it's like in Dead Space 1 and 2, well, primarily 2, I should say, when you improve the power of the kinesis, it makes an immediate difference, and you notice it. And it's so satisfying because you're saving ammo that way. And this is well, it's meant to be a survival horror game where ammo is scarce. And on Dead Space 2, especially on Zealot and Hardcore, it is scarce. Especially when you first play the game. Whereas in this game, the upgrades don't seem to really do much. Especially the weapon upgrades. We'll talk about that later. And here we go. I'm setting up a few TK shots here. Preempting it. There you go. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to call this a walkthrough or a let's play. At the end of the day, I'm not terrible at Dead Space 3, but I'm a heck of a lot better at Dead Space 1 and 2. I don't love this game. Oh my god, that is awful when they transform into whatever the hell that is. It just doesn't feel satisfying to shoot those stupid tentacle things, man. So, a little bit of a break here, no dialogue coming up. So, I'll tell you guys the weapons we're going to be using in this playthrough. I'm going to be primarily using the Planet Cracker Plasma Cutter for the first half of the game, which is more powerful than the default Plasma Cutter that you get in Dead Space 3, but it's slower. And it works pretty well, to be fair, because it's a decent balance. Then I'm going to obviously be using the Force Gun, because you damn well need the Force Gun in this game. And then a bit of Contact Beam, a bit of Seeker Rifle, there's a little bit of Ripper action, a Grenade Launcher. But I just wish in this game that the weapons felt exactly the way they did in the second game, and enemies reacted to the bullets the same way. Like, I haven't seen enough people complain about this game's gameplay online. Ethereal? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, the game's throwing ammo and health at you, but Chapter 1 is like a tutorial, really. There's some fights in this game, ladies and gentlemen, where it's just best to run. This is one of them. Sick music again here, Stasis, that motherfucker. Now watch what happens here. Do I shoot this guy in the leg? Let's see. No, I'm just Stasis. Do I shoot this guy in the leg? I do. It takes more shots to knock them down in this game, regardless of the weapon that you use. How that leg got there, I'll never know.
No trains. Okay, I made it to the train station.
What about Danik's men?
I lost him in the panic. This outbreak may buy
You
us
lost
time.
Danik in the panic.
Let's go.
No good. Looks like the train was getting refitted with a new power car.
So?
We're gonna have to put it back together.
Do it fast. Danik's gunships aren't far off. We'll try to draw them away then. Be fast.
Be fast. The dialogue in this game, man. Oh my days. It's not as good as it is in Dead Space 1 and 2. Be fast. That should be Sonic the Hedgehog's type. What the fuck?
Please attach fuel car before initiating departure sequence.
Some nice kinesis puzzles. Nice and simple. Puzzles aren't bad in this game, you know, they're like Resident Evil ones. They break up the gameplay, they're not too difficult, they don't need to be too difficult. You feel like an engineer very quickly there. Awesome, nice.
Initializing. Please board to the rear of the train.
This part on the train is horrible because it's shaking and moving, and aiming your gun, whatever you're using, is so annoying.
Alright, understood. I'll close in once you clear the city. Be ready for pickup. This is gonna be tricky.
Oh yeah, I like doing that.
You still haven't told me what happened to Ellie.
Now's not the best time, Isaac.
Is she alive?
Last I saw her was a Keyhole Station. She said she was onto something big, shocked out to some secret coordinates, and then we lost contact. I know your ex-girlfriend very well. She's still alive, and mad as hell we haven't found her yet.
Seems like Norton is actually quite close with Ellie. But yeah, look at this camera. Look at it wobbling. Oh, headshot.
The bigger one that just flew over your head.
Something else that I can't stand about the fights with the human enemies in this game. When you take damage, Isaac doesn't flinch. So you don't even know, necessarily, if you've been hit. So stupid, man.
Get your ass up here.
Oh, that is so awkward. The body has disappeared, so I can't loot it. Another thing I don't like about this game, it makes some bodies disappear so you don't get the loot. Because there's that many enemies. Oh, yeah. I can't deny how cool this part is, though. There's some parts of this game that are still great, as much as I hate to admit it. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dead Space 3 Chapter 1. I'll see you for Chapter 2. Dum-a-dum-a-dum.